Mrs. Anne Agum Eze, who is said to be the person who had won the primaries for Ebonyi South Senatorial District. But that, you know, a group of concerned Ebonyi South concerned citizens, they are saying that you hijacked the position from the woman because you want to go to the Senate, and that you influence the suspension of, you know, Mrs. Agomeze just for you to be able to have your way. Even when the woman has challenged you in court, and even when, you know, the matter is still in court. Again, in this regard, we need clarifications.
Abati, thank you very much. I thought that journalism should be investigative. If somebody comes to you and say to you that, you know, she won the primary election to the Senate, you should be able to ask how and, you know, show documents. There was an, you know, primary election of APC for the Ebonyi South Senatorial Zone on 28th of May, upon which Anna Gomez came second, you know, by winning only 2 votes. And, you know, Mr. Austin Umahi came first with, I think, 283 votes. And that was the position. And, you know, if you go to section 29 of the Electoral Act, you know, it's talking about the candidate of the party. So Austin Umahi became the candidate of the party by reason of that election of 28. Now, the same Gomez submitted to the appeal committee that the election was, you know, unlawful, that there was intimidation, and she submitted that in writing. And then, based on that, the party said, okay, we have cancelled the election, and so we have to reconduct. But Austin's name had not been submitted to INEC, but he was still the candidate of the party. And so, on 9th of June, Mr. Austin Umahi withdrew according to Section 33 of the Electoral Act. And Section 33 says when a candidate of the party withdraws, there should be fresh election. So at what point did Anna Gomez become the candidate of the party? So it is very funny. Now, my name was submitted to INEC, and INEC was just waiting for the next batch to publish my name. But because of, you know, Section 28 of the Electoral Act, or 29, you know, that empowers that if INEC publishes and your name is not there, you should go to court. Now, if Agomeze was the candidate of the party, or envisaged to be the candidate of the party, and INEC had published, why did she not go to, you know, say, look, 2 things. The candidate of the party was missing, you know, which was Augustine Umahi. 2, if she envisages that, you know, if the first person withdraws, that she should be, it is against the Electoral Act. Go and look at Section 33 of the Electoral Act. It says where a candidate of the party withdraws. So there has not been any time that Anna Gomez became the candidate of the party. And so what the party did to say, okay, since we had ordered for a fresh election, you know, cancelled the election, and subsequently the candidate has withdrawn, there should be another election on 9th of June. Now, let me say this. If it is said that some men don't have honor, shouldn't women also have honor? Anne sent me a text message when she came to negotiate for 20 million naira, and, you know, I should give to her. I didn't say no. She sent me a WhatsApp text message acknowledging that she withdrew on her own without a new influence. Now, what was her withdrawal? There's no provision for a runner-up in the primary election under the 2022 Electoral Act to withdraw. She withdrew under oath from contesting any further primaries of APC in Ebonyi State. So there was no time. And let me also say this, that there were about 5 events that would have afforded Anna Gomez the opportunity to challenge. Number 1, when INEC published, I think about 12th of June, the law says that you should go and challenge if you have anything against. So if she was thinking that as a runner-up that she should be the candidate, so she would have gone to challenge. Number 2, when she withdrew in writing before the party at the National Secretariat, before the APC Deputy National Woman Leader, who is her friend, before the legal advisor, before the National Organizing Secretary. And the person that received her withdrawal had gone to court to swear affidavit to say, look, I received her withdrawal. And so there's perjury there pending, against her. And so she would have also, gone when election was conducted on 9th of June, which I was the only candidate, and I won. Now, when INEC did not publish my name about 12th of June, I had to go to court just a day to the end of the 14 days allowed in the law. And that was the time she joined. But the question is, what is her aim? She's working for the PDP candidate. Because in all these things, she has not been, very close to being the candidate of the party. So I have not, used my position unduly at all.
But she says she's been threatened. She's expelled from the party. Did it warrant all of this? And I'd like to know about that 20 million you said she asked you. Did you pay? Because you, obviously from what you said, you guys tried to have a deal. And you said you have WhatsApp messages that she sent at requesting 20 million. Did you pay for that?
Rufai should be asking why I got 20 million to pay her. I didn't pay her the 20 million, but I want to say that it was in WhatsApp text message, and it is still there, and it could be verified. Not only the request of the 20 million, she also said that on her own and in her honor, that she voluntarily withdrew. And nobody has been able to ask her, did you send such WhatsApp text message, to the governor? Then number two, I did not threaten her. I'm a very peaceful person, and that statement angered me so much. And I've challenged her in a libel suit, in Abuja. 2 suits are standing before her to prove where the threat came from a gentleman like me.
You were recently quoted as saying that education, university education, should not be for everybody, and that you are an engineer, your deputy has a PhD, but that does not mean that everybody must go to the university. As your response to the lingering ASU crisis, did you exactly say that, or you were quoted out of context?
Abati, sometimes when the mischief makers in social media, and I think that we should have decency in regulating our social media. Social media has been responsible to a lot of harms in the country. It also has a lot of, the good part of it. What I said, and I repeat, I was trying to evaluate, the educational system of developed countries. And I said that federal government and all the employers of labor should, a matter of review of their strategies, try to say, instead of all the time saying that, the basis of employment should be university degree. I said, no, we should make, vocational education and secondary school education compulsory for every Nigerian. And that while advertising for job, that such certificates should be placed, given priorities. And that some people may, after working, obtaining such degree, certificate and are working, they will also be able to have choices of going to university. I never said that university education is not for everybody. I will not say so because I believe so much in education.
As regards your presidential quest, because you left the PDP and you came to the APC, and thinking that you were going to get the presidency. But what happened during the primaries? Some say you were outmuscled, you couldn't fight the financial firepower of the people. Was that the case? And that's why a lot of people say now you are coming back to take a position with the Senate. And I'd also like to ask you, there's been back and forth. You said you were going to deliver your state for the APC. And in fact, you said, an Igbo candidate, that is Peter Obi, that is also running in your state, that you will deliver your state for APC. What happens to that Igbo presidency you once touted? A lot of people said maybe this was the time you were going to align ranks, since Peter Obi now is on the ballot, and you were once pushing for that Igbo presidency at a point, and that's why you offered yourself to run for presidency.
Rufai, don't allow me to run foul of the Electoral Act because campaign has not started. But let me just quickly say that I didn't push, from PDP to APC to have, the ticket of APC as, her presidential candidate. No, I foresaw that the PDP was not going to give a, ticket to an Igbo man. And I said, no, that was not fair because we have served this party since 1999. And that was my position. And a lot of people that are crying today were the people that were attacking me for leaving the party at that stage. And subsequently, they left. And so they owe me a lot of apologies, and that is what I need to say. And I want to let you know, and I say this, Peter Obi is my brother. I'm very proud of what he's doing. And it wouldn't have been a disaster if Southeast is not here at all in the quest for presidency. And I wish him well. What happened to me at the presidential primary is the will of God. Because in all my outing, prior to that primary, I continue to say that the will of God, is supreme in my life. And so I had to submit to the will of God. But let me also tell you something. That every aspirant of APC, including your sister Agomeze, swore an oath of allegiance, and then in court, and the letters of that oath of allegiance are there, and that we swore that we have to support our party. And I did that, and I swore to uphold the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so I want to leave it there until campaign starts.
So you support, so that means for you it's about your party over the Igbo presidency, that you once started as injustice over the years to your own people. So it's about your party over the Igbo presidency, your kingsman?
No comment. I have answered your question, and I said to you that campaign has not started. When campaign starts, we will be answering questions like this, because as a man that swore to uphold the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I should just do that.
I'm interested in knowing how you see your party's ticket now, not just given the presidential candidates, but the fact that the vice presidential candidate is from the Northeast. It looks like Igbo's missed out completely in the APC.
Well, there is no doubt that the Igbos missed, so much in APC, but they missed terribly much in PDP, because I, had said it severally that if the Igbos, would serve the APC the number of years they serve PDP and are denied ticket, that it will not, I will not be happy about that. So I don't morally, I don't have any anger in me to say that it must be me. No, I just did my bit and to demonstrate the fact that we have materials. And for me, in terms of, who becomes the president of Nigeria, I want to suggest to Nigerians that we should talk on issues. We should talk on issues because the truth is that this issue of religion is honestly being used to deceive, the masses, because we don't really practice the religion that is in our mouth in Nigeria. Otherwise, you find out, who are the bandits, in the north. Are they not, religious people? Who are the people that are killing in south and southeast? Are they not religious people? So I think we should, think more about how to address, the problems of this nation. And it is high time we stop deceiving the masses, with religion.
Okay, before I yield the floor, I wanted to ask you about your relationship with Governor Wike of Rivers State. Some of the papers reported that you were cited in London at a meeting, that was held where Governor Wike was present and other governors were also present and that you were present. But more importantly, in March, you described Governor Wike of Rivers State as the Judas Iscariot of our time. You even said that he's an illiterate who has a problem with alcohol. I'm quoting things that are reported in the papers. But by June, 2022, you visited the same Governor Wike, and you were quoted as saying this was a friendly and brotherly visit. What happened around there, and what happened in London, since you were privy to some of the details?
Abaji, I say social media will not kill us in this country. I just came back from Dubai, 8-day visit in Dubai. I was reading in social media, just like some of you, that Wike and some other governors were in London. So I was never in London, and the immigration can testify to that. Wike is my brother, is my good friend. We had quarrels, and when you have quarrels, there will be anger, and that anger may not be a holy anger, and that's what transpired between us. But before that, the time I left PDP, we were best of friends, and when your best friend leaves you, you know how bitter it would be, and I think that was the case between Wike and I. We've since reconciled, and we're moving together. And let me also tell you that Wike and all the southern governors believe in southern presidency, and this is the spirit that it is flogging the PDP. Even though I don't like to talk about another party, but all the southern governors came together and said, look, presidency should rotate between north and south, and I think that every governor from south should have an honor, to abide by that decision. Wike is a fine gentleman. He has a very good heart. He's a good man. And so things are passed away. It was a quarrel.
Not social media misbehaving again, are saying that Ebonyi will vote for Tinubu and that Peter Obi does not stand a chance. But what do you think of that assessment, by this day yesterday, that Peter Obi is likely to take the entire Southeast and also get substantial votes in Lagos, beyond, loyalty to party and all of that?
You see, the PDP in my state is dying and dwindling, and the only job they have, is in the social media. They were the people that voted P2B. I never in all my outings, in our utterances, mentioned P2B. P2B is my friend. I'm going to host him in Ebonyi State, and I will host him publicly. I like what he's doing, and it's very encouraging. And that is, where it is. So I never mention P2B in anything I'm saying.